our students. And joining us tonight is Mr. Sean O'Hara, our building principal, as well as Miss Denise Stevenson, our Director of E&L and World Languages, and our Interim Superintendent, Christine Tona. Good evening. And Daniela Perez will be providing translation services for our Spanish-speaking families. So I am now going to turn it over to Mr. Charles Connolly. He has been a tremendous resource since the inception of the program, and he is the Director of Enrollment Services at the Eastern Campus in Riverhead of Suffolk Community College. Thank you, Mr. Connolly.
Sorry, Chuck, just a moment. I just want to let people know about the translation function.
Oh, sure.
Sure. So if anyone needs translation, we'll be repeating this in Spanish in just a moment. At the bottom of your screen, you have the, in a couple of minutes, we'll turn on the translation function and you'll see the option of seeing this presentation in Spanish if you require assistance. Just to let people know though, if you are on a Chromebook, this function does not work on a Chromebook. You would need to change to a phone or a tablet or a more traditional laptop computer. So I'll have
Buenas noches. Si ustedes necesitan traducción, en la parte de abajo usted va a poder tener la opción de escoger la traducción para escuchar esta presentación en español. Si usted está en un Chromebook, esa opción pues no la va a tener. Tiene que hacerlo en una laptop o una computadora central o en un teléfono.
All right, and we'll turn on that function now. Thanks so much.
Okay, so I can get started?
Yes, Mr. Connolly, please do. Thank you.
Thank you, Mr. Gazar. First of all, it's a pleasure to be here this evening. It's a little different than we usually present, but we're going to do the best we can. So my name is Mr. Charles Connolly, Director of Enrollment Services. This is my contact information.
Buenas noches a todos.
My email, and this is my direct phone number. So feel free to contact me with any questions after the presentation or tomorrow, and I'll be happy to answer those. I'm going to start with a little background of the college as well as the Eastern Campus. And Suffolk Community College is actually the largest community college in New York State. We have over 25,000 students on 3 different campuses. And students are taking classes in Riverhead, Brentwood, and Selden. We offer classes day, evening, weekend, and online. At the Eastern Campus, where most of the students will be attending, our enrollment is nearly 4,000 students, 54% female, 46% male, with over 25 different majors. So one of the best features of Suffolk is really the class size. Right now, we're averaging about 24 students in our classes. Our class size is no larger than 35. So you're really getting a very, very sound education, because in some universities, you'll see 200, 300, 400 students in a class. The largest classes we have at Suffolk are 35. And there's something I call the Suffolk Advantage. First of all of our professors teach their classes. Many do research, they publish papers, they publish books, but their primary role is to teach. So all of the courses at Suffolk are taught by professors. When students are taking these classes, these credits are transferable to both private and public universities. So the credits that you'll earn at Suffolk during your junior and or senior year, you'll be able to transfer these credits on and apply them towards your bachelor's degree. And this is a good opportunity for students to connect with the college and with faculty. And then there's something I call the SUNY Edge. Well, first of all, you're getting the recognition of the SUNY name. So we're SUNY Suffolk, part of the State University of New York system. And many of you may not know this, but if you graduate from Suffolk, you're guaranteed admission into a 4-year SUNY school to complete your bachelor's degree. And one of the reasons we're able to keep our tuition down is because you're receiving fiscal support from the county and the state. So we did a little research, and we wanted to see where our students were transferring to. So last year, all of these colleges and all these universities Suffolk students have transferred to, and this is just a small portion of the list. With over 25,000 students, we have students going to transferring to colleges all over the country. We also have an honors program. A lot of the students who are in the early college program are very high achievers. and they're eligible to take honors classes and possibly continue on into the honors program. And I say this is an excellent choice for the motivated student who has both academic talent and family financial wisdom. So we talk about the admission to the honors program. If any students are interested in it, you have to have at least an 88 average. And Mr. Gazar, are we offering SATs this year?
Yes, we are offering SATs this year.
Okay, so you need to get at least an 1180 on the SATs, complete the application along with a college essay. So let's talk a little bit about the early college program and the criteria to be accepted into it. So first of all, you would need a recommendation from the guidance office. So this is weighted heavily in the admissions process. So if I get a strong recommendation from guidance, there's a good chance that you'll be accepted into the program. You need to have at least an 85 high school average. And what we're basically doing is we're reviewing your high school transcript. We see if you're really college ready. And if you are, we'll be contacting you with an acceptance letter, and then we'll be doing advisement to help you select your classes. So getting started down the road of higher education. So the early college program provides students with a real college experience. All classes are taught by college professors, and students are learning alongside other college students. So this is a very unique program. There's very few high schools on the east end of Long Island that are participating in this. A lot more are getting on board. They're finding out about the beauty of this program, but this is essentially an opportunity to take a college course while you're still in high school. So you're in a college course, you're taught by college professors along with other college students. So you're really going to grow from the experience. The other bonus here is that we're only charging $57 per credit for the early college program. Normally, our tuition is $228 per credit, but for the early college students, we're only charging $57 per credit. So this is a very good opportunity to get a good education at a good price. So the thing I want to reiterate is the small classes, 25 to 30 students. You do have support from counselors and faculty. I'm the coordinator for the program. I've been very available. I'm here 12 months of the year. Parents, students are often contacting me by email or phone and asking me questions, and I'm helping them along the way. I want to reiterate that these are transferable to four-year colleges, and the classes will begin for the fall on September 2nd. So I'd like to go to the early college website, see if this works. So this is available online. If you went to the SUNYSuffolk.edu and you went to Explore Academics and then College for High School Students, you click that, and it's going to take you to the early college program. Right here's the link. It gives you a brief description of what I've been saying. And then there's other links here to get more information, okay? As well as here's contacts. So if you wanted to email me, here's Eastern Campus, Riverhead, Charles Connolly. You just click the email. Here's my phone number. So you can see I'm very accessible. The application is also here. If you clicked on this, you'll be able to see the early college program application, and this must be completed. And Mr. Gazar, we're going to have these turned into guidance?
Yes, but before we get that far, just so you're aware, we're still on the page of the early college website and listing of the links. We're not able to get through to the live link. So we're not seeing what you're saying.
Oh, okay. Thank you for that. All right. Sure. So let me go back. Let me see how I go back. Give me a second. So I'm going to stop sharing and I'm going to go back into the to the PowerPoint. Here we go. Okay, so I was here. So again, this is the link for the college. If you clicked on Explore Academics, College for High School Students, Early College Program, that would take you to our website and you'll be able to see some more detailed information about the program as well as the application.
Mr. Connolly, do you have dual screens?
Dual screens.
We've lost the PowerPoint.
Oh, okay. So let me go back. Let me try to escape from this. Okay, hold on. I don't know what to do. So you don't have the PowerPoint at all right now.
No, if you click on the, if
So
you share
I'm
screen.
not, I'm losing the share screen. Are you able to stop this? Oh, here we go. Hold on. Okay, let me try again. So right now you see us, right?
Yes.
Okay, so let me try to share screen. Okay, very good. Okay.
There we are.
Okay, so there, I'm gonna just go through it. You know, is your faces are in my way, but it's okay. I'll go down to where we were. Okay, so right here we left off, right? Can you see that?
Dual enrollment research, yes.
Very good. Okay, so there has been some research done by the College Board. The College Board is the organization that offers the SATs. And the research comparing dual enrolled students to non-dual enrolled students is generally very positive. First of all, what they found is these students who go to the dual enrollment, meaning the early college programs, they're more inclined to enroll in a four-year college. They'll also have higher GPAs during their freshman year, and they'll also have a higher graduation rate. Just the experience of being in a college classroom during high school, it makes the transition to college that much easier. So the research backs up the program. Okay, so the next one is why early college. So again, it allows students to earn college credit while still attending high school. Parents and students save money, and it provides an excellent foundation for transition to four-year schools. And then some of the more additional benefits applies to colleges with established college transcript. So you're applying to a college and you're able to not only send your high school transcript, but you're also sending along a college transcript. So colleges begin to see how you do in college level classes, and this carries a lot of weight in the admissions process. You can get letters of recommendation from the college faculty. You can strengthen your college application for scholarships. And obviously by transferring college credits, you're able to graduate college earlier. And if you wanted to, you can also stay at Suffolk, and you'd probably can earn, if you came in as a junior, you could probably earn your associate's degree in 1 year. And if you wanted to, you could enroll in the honors program. So here's some transition tips. Okay, so early college students follow Suffolk's academic calendar. So this is very important because our calendar, the college calendar, does not match up exactly with the high school calendar. It's close, but in other words, if you're off from Riverhead, but you have a college class, you obviously have to go to that college class. The college calendar is going to trump that. There's more academic independence. So in other words, in college, you're probably only attending a class twice a week. So you may have a class just Mondays and Wednesdays, and professors are going to give you a lot more work to do outside the classroom. So you're going to need to be mature and disciplined in that regard. There's going to be more assignments outside. So there's going to be a little bit more homework. And there's not going to be as much hand-holding as they do in high school. There's fewer examinations. Usually there's 2, sometimes 3 exams for the semester. So you have to be well prepared when that exam comes up because there's going to be a lot of weight put on each one. And you also have to adhere to the code of conduct. And what I mean by that is with this online learning, we've had some episodes where there's been some plagiarism. There's been some cheating. And we have come up with a few cases, and you're going to need to be more mature and really try to stay away from any type of conduct like that. Now I want to get into learning modalities. So basically right now, this semester, we have 2 modalities. We have strictly online, which the course is totally online and it's taught through Blackboard. The college learning management system. Students interact with faculty and complete assignments working on their own time while adhering to course deadlines. The majority of the early college students are taught in real time. And basically what this is like a Zoom class. This recreates a classroom experience with your instructor and other class members using live virtual instruction on scheduled days and times. So most of the early college students take classes from 8 to 9:15. There'll be a live lecture during those hours, and you would need to be in front of your computer during that time. So it would be a live lecture that would be Mondays and Wednesdays and/or Tuesdays and Thursdays. So just want to make sure I got it. Okay, so what I outlined here is the academic requirements for associate's degree. I think it's important that high school students begin to understand what it's like to get a degree. So if you're going to go for a liberal arts degree in college, to meet that criteria, you'd have to take a semester of college seminar. You would need 3 college English classes. You would need a philosophy, 2 histories, non-Western social science, which is either anthropology or geography. You would have to take a public speaking class. And then there's 1 art, music, or theater. There's 2 humanities, a math, a science, math and science, social sciences. So you can see there's a wide breadth of different courses that you have to take to satisfy to get that associate's degree. And what many of the students do is they earn their associate's degree in liberal arts, and then as a junior, they make their final decision about their major, and then they focus primarily on that major their junior or senior year. So in addition to the fall, we're also offering early college courses in the summer. So students can take a summer class if they wanted to. It begins July 6th and ends August 5th. And that would be still the reduced tuition, so it'd be $57 per credit. So if you wanted to get a jump on your education, you'd be able to start this summer beginning on July 6th for either 3 or 6 credits. So some of the courses that are being offered this fall, we have a wide breadth. We have accounting, economics, and mythology, and communications, criminal law, English, American literature, statistics, business, criminal justice, chemistry. So these are all opportunities for students to take pretty much the entire catalog of classes that they want to take. What happens in college, though, is there's prerequisites required. You can't just jump into maybe a biology or a chemistry class without having the appropriate math levels and the appropriate prerequisites. And that's something that we would help you with when we do our advisements. So you'd have these classes in mind that you want to take, and then we would guide you and tell you which courses are appropriate. So for example, American literature, before you can take American literature, you'd have to take English composition. You take that course first, and then you go on to literature. So I created a little checklist. So what would happen is you would first apply to the program. You'd have to submit an application with your high school transcript. You need a recommendation. You would then receive a letter of acceptance from me, and I would give you an ID number, and you'd create a student portal account. So you'd have that account on your computer, and that's how you would be accessing your classes online. That's how you would be registering for your classes. Everything that you would need to be doing would be done in your portal. You'd also be getting a student ID card from Suffolk, so that would give you another form of ID, and then you would have to get books that you can order online at the website. So signing up for early college, just to review, fill out the early college application. Again, you'd submit your high school transcript. We would want an immunization record that we can get from the high school. And on the application, your home campus would be the Eastern campus. But that doesn't mean you're limited to the Eastern campus courses. You can take any course anytime at the college because they're online. It doesn't matter where the professor's teaching from. And right now, I'm going to open it up for questions and comments.
I'm just going to step in for a moment there, Mr. Connolly. Let's just keep the Q&A up there, or
Sure.
comments, and we're going to invite any of our attendees to simply type your question into the Q&A box at the bottom of the screen, and then we will read it aloud and give the answer. So while you're thinking of those, if you have any, I'm going to talk a little bit about the logistics of the program and how it works with Riverhead High School. Riverhead is one of the, we're happy to say, one of the first schools I think maybe we were the second or third school to come on board for the early college program on Long Island some time ago. And it flourished because we had strong commitment from our district administration, as well as strong support from Mr. Connolly and the campus. But also, I would be remiss if I did not acknowledge the fact that the Riverhead campus is located in the confines of our town. So therefore, we are able to have students come into school and instead of attending first period, they would get on a bus in the rear of the building at the high school, just outside the auditorium at about 7:15 to 7:20, and then take it over to the campus. And then once they would get to the Suffolk campus, they would disperse from the bus, and they do not travel as a pack because they have the opportunity to take any course that's being offered during that time slot on campus. So if you do have a child, or if you are a student watching, you might be in class with another Riverhead student, but not necessarily. You may be there with other full-time matriculating college students, and you may be the only ECP student. So that's just something to be aware of. The second part is the classes are running, as Mr. Connolly said, till 9:15. Immediately following dismissal of the class, the students would return back to the Riverhead bus. It's a regular school bus. And then we would take you back to the high school. And the students usually arrive about 9:30, which gets them in for perfect timing to attend their fourth period class. So that's pretty much the way it works during the day. And when we first started the program, we only offered students the ability to take courses during the day during the fall semester or during the spring semester. But as the program flourished, more opportunities came about for our students. And as you heard, students can now take courses over the summer session, which starts as early as, I think you said, July 6th through the 5th of August. And we have students taking courses in the evenings. And I believe we've even had intersession opportunities when available. Again, Mr. Connolly did say, and I need to reiterate it, the calendars do not necessarily match, and you would not be excused from the Suffolk class just because Riverhead doesn't have school. When Riverhead doesn't have school, you would be responsible for your own transportation to the campus. It really comes into play usually in August, because the classes at Suffolk start usually about 2 weeks before we kick off school in September. So for those 3 to 4 class sessions, the students have to make their own arrangements. However, on the other side of that, the fall semester concludes 2 to 3 weeks earlier than we do. So students actually stop their classes at Suffolk in December, and they may not be starting up for another 4 weeks. So there is going to be some I guess I'd say dead time there. So what most of our students do is they will, come to the high school, they will stay in the cafeteria, it'll be treated as a study hall for a short temporary period, or they can go to the library and sign in and do their other work or study. Or they can take care of other things such as stopping by the guidance office or arriving late for the day and then signing in as a late arrival student. So there are options, and obviously, you find what works best for you, but it has not been an issue since the inception of the program. The other component is about how the credits work. And it's very important to understand that these courses are taken for college credit only. They are not used for New York State graduation credit, high school graduation credit. Now, the fact is, if you are admitted to the early college program, you are a student in good standing who we have full faith will have no problems with any deficiency of credits. Most of our students graduate far beyond 22 credits at Riverhead High School. That is the minimum amount of credits you need to have earned to get a diploma in New York State. So the point is, if you were to take a course at Suffolk, let's say you took a psychology course at Suffolk, you would not have that on your high school transcript. That's why Mr. Connolly said you would receive 2 transcripts, one from Suffolk and one from Riverhead. And that is also something that protects you, because when you take that SUNY credit and apply that towards your admission to a receiving college, a four-year college, it has become common practice for competitive schools to not accept a transcript with college credit if a student was using it for high school graduation credit as well as college credit. They consider that a form of double dipping, and they would eliminate you. So that is something that does not happen. Our students are protected. And if anyone is ever to say, well, this student seems like a very strong student, why did they take such a limited course selection during their junior or senior or both years? But then that question is quickly answered when they are provided with the college transcript as well. So they did not take a reduced course load. What they did was they maximized opportunities that were afforded to them. And it is truly a gift, because if you figure out at $57 a credit, and I don't know if that's going to be next year, maybe it goes up $1 or $2, but let's just say for $57 a credit, we have had students graduate Riverhead High School that have been part of this program for 2 years. And some of them have done a night class here or there. They've really taken advantage of it as best they could. They graduated complete through Riverhead High School and also earned 30 Suffolk credits. And these are Suffolk credits, but it's important to understand they are SUNY credits. They are no different than any other transcript coming out of any state university in New York. And they're getting that for $1,700. $1,700. If you were a student attending after graduation to earn 30 credits, it would be roughly $6,800. So there is a savings there of over $5,000. That's why I call it the secret scholarship. And that is built in. And it's a tremendous, tremendous opportunity. And it's important to know, once you are accepted to the program, you are in the program until you graduate from Riverhead High School. So even if you are a student or a parent of a student who is a standing sophomore right now, and you decide to apply for this program, and you are accepted to this program, but then for whatever your reason is, you choose not to attend next year. For whatever reason, you want to be in high school full time, you don't want to do the college experience, whatever your choice is, it makes no difference. You have gained admission to the program for the rest of your career. So you may decide next summer, going into your senior year, to take a course. You can do it. There's no application necessary. You are part of the program. And that goes for, someone may say, I'm not going to do it this year, and then decide they want to do a night course in the spring. They can do it. So it's not as if you have to reapply each time. Once you are admitted, you are part of the ECP family, and we will welcome you when the time is right for you. As far as the applications go, you can either email them or mail them or drop them off to your Riverhead High School guidance counselor. We are accepting them now, and we will be accepting them through April 30th, at which time we will be delivering them to Suffolk. We will be reviewing these. If we have questions for you, we will have some questions. We'll contact you directly. Either we'll have a face-to-face meeting, or we'll talk over the phone, or we'll talk with your parent or guardian. We'll get whatever information we need. If something's incomplete, we'll get that taken care of for you. We will provide them with your high school transcript and any other materials they may need. There is a medical release form that has to be taken care of as well. And they will be delivered at the end of April to the Suffolk campus. And then we will make our recommendations. And if there's any special situations or circumstances that you would like us to present and advocate for your candidacy, we would do that at that time. So we've already begun accepting the applications, and we will continue to do so. But as I said, April 30th is the deadline. Now, if you go to the Riverhead High School guidance webpage, front and center, there is detailed information about the early college program. The PowerPoint that Mr. Connolly just presented to you is on the webpage. It is also presented in Spanish. So if we have Spanish-speaking families, it is translated. And there is a link next to that one, which is the application. You can fill it out online and email it. You can print it out, fill it out, scan it, and email it, or you can drop it in the mail through the postal service, or you can drop it off to the guidance office to your guidance counselor, and then we will take it from there. So that is pretty much how the program works. We will open it up for questions and comments, and I believe Mr. O'Hara, our building principal, is going to read those questions aloud, and Mr. Connolly will answer them. And if it's something regarding logistics, I'll be happy to step in as well.
So good evening, everyone. Thank you, Mr. Kassar. I'm gonna start with the second question I see because it kind of ties into what you were just talking about, Mr. Kassar. But the question I guess would be for Mr. Connolly. I believe you said there was an 88 average requirement. Is that a hard prerequisite? My teenager really wants to be part of the program, has an 82 average. Can he sit for the college entry exam?
Okay, good question. So fortunately or unfortunately, we're not offering the placement tests at this point in time, and mostly because of COVID reasons. So we're forced to really rely on the recommendation and the grade point average. And I do believe in motivation. If a student is highly motivated, I think that the council would want to include that in the recommendation, and we can give them benefit of the doubt. But I have to be very clear. This is a very important decision because now you're establishing a college transcript. So this transcript is going to go with you just like your high school transcript. So this is something that you want to take seriously and really be ready for that challenge. If you are a junior, you may want to mature a little bit and wait till your senior year. But if you're highly motivated and you really want to take on this challenge, then I'm going to recommend you do that and you follow through with the application. And there's a good chance that you will be given the opportunity to do the work.
Thank you. Next question, kind of a fun one. If you want to become a teacher, what classes would you recommend to take for that career path?
Okay, great question. So if you want to be a teacher, Suffolk actually offers 3 education levels. One would be early childhood for students who want to work in pre-K. We offer courses towards a child study program, which is K through 6. And then we also offer adolescent education, which is 7 through 12. So the student doesn't have to make the decision immediately, but you got to begin to think in those terms. And what you would do is you'd follow our curriculum. If you went to our website and you went to Explore Academics, where we were before, you'd see a link for majors and programs. You could click on the adolescent education link and you'd be able to see the curriculum that is required for that major. And what you would do is when you meet with your advisor, which is probably going to be me, you would tell the advisor that I'm interested in education and I would put you in the courses that would be most appropriate for that major. And the credits you'd earn them at Suffolk and you would be able to transfer those on to a 4-year school as an education major there. Good question.
I'm not seeing any other questions in the chat.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not, I think that means this was a very thorough presentation, or we have a shy audience.
Can I just add one more piece that I think is worthy, and I was kind of curious that it usually comes up each time we present, and that is that people ask, what is the difference of taking an advanced placement course at Riverhead High School as opposed to a dual enrollment course at Suffolk Community College? And I tell them they're both outstanding opportunities, and as the AP coordinator for the high school, I have a lot of pride with our AP program, and it continues to grow, and it's going to continue to grow, and we're very excited. We've got great opportunities coming up. However, the AP courses are taught by high school teachers that are credentialed by the College Board. Okay, so they follow the College Board curriculum, which is provided, and then they create their own syllabus that meets the guidelines of the established curriculum. It is approved, and then they teach it. However, it is high stakes in AP because the opportunity to get college credit accepted from a receiving institution all hinges on the performance on a student's AP examination. Therefore, sometimes things happen in life that we're not prepared for and we didn't plan for. And we may not be in the best mindset on a certain day at a certain time when a specific exam is given. And a student could have a stellar average all year long and just, have a bad day. And unfortunately, not get the score that they really believe they should be earning. There is no recourse about that. If a student does not earn a 3, 4, or 5 on a 5-point scale, it will not be considered for credit. And I can tell you that less than 50% of the students nationally taking the exams do not earn 3s. So to get 4s and 5s is incredibly competitive. The difference with the Suffolk program is, again, as I told you, it is a separate transcript. It is taught by a college professor. It is not a credentialed high school teacher. Therefore, there is no final exit exam for the students. Your consideration for college credit is solely based on your final grade. And usually they're looking for a C or higher to accept it. Most of our students go beyond C's, I will tell you. And we're very, very pleased with the success that they have. And in the close to a decade of offering this program, never, and I say the word never twice, has a student come back to me and said, Mr. Gassar, I love the program, but they only took X number of credits from me. I have always heard it has been 100% transferable. Again, that is why it's the secret scholarship. So I like to put that out there because it does come up from time to time.
Yeah. And just give you a little anecdote. When we first started this program, our faculty at the college was very, very skeptical. They said, how can we possibly be admitting high school students into our classes? So I said, we're really just running an experiment. We're going to see how we're going to do this. And what we did a little research after the first year of classes, and this was exclusively Riverhead students. And the average turned out to be a 3.4, which was a B+ average that all of the students at Riverhead had cumulatively that I was able to present to the faculty. And they were a little taken back. And anecdotally, again, most of the faculty who have had the early college students in their class said it's been an absolute pleasure. These students are motivated. These students are well behaved. These students really want to learn. And they're so well received now. Some of them are asking me, are you going to put some early college students in my class? Because I really enjoy having them in there, and so I can teach them. So it's really been a home run for both Suffolk and for Riverhead and the students of Riverhead especially.
Thank you. Another question, going back to the required average, or the question is, with the lower average, if someone had a lower average than what was being asked for, would it be beneficial to get letters of recommendations from teachers?
Absolutely. Yeah, they carry a lot of weight. Not only do they carry a lot of weight in a program such as this, they also carry a lot of weight when students are applying to college. They enjoy the guidance counselor's recommendations, but there's nothing like the teacher. The teacher is really in the classroom with the students, spending more time, and really can give it from an academic perspective. So this would be a good opportunity, first of all, to learn to approach a teacher for the recommendation and begin to establish that relationship, because they're going to need them down the line anyway.
Yeah, and I also want to say, I know that the question before said that they mentioned the 88 average. The 88 average is for the honors program. Right. It was an 85 average for the ECP program. But I also want to offer, look, we recognize this has been a very challenging time this past 12 months. And, students' GPAs nationwide are not where they historically have been. We've had interrupted instruction with closures and family quarantines and just challenges. So I would request that if anyone feels they're not meeting the average or they may be short, to contact me directly. Yes, contact your guidance counselor because that's where the application goes, but speak to me because I am, although I never considered it a title, I guess I am the ECP coordinator because I work closely with the guidance counselors and with Mr. Connolly. But please don't hesitate to pick up the phone and call me or send me an email. I'm right on the Riverhead webpage, charles.cassar@riverhead.net. And we'll talk about it. And we'll talk about exactly where your son or daughter is at and what they're looking to do. And, is there a pathway that we can forge together to make this happen? We try to find ways to get students in, not to keep students out.
Thank you, Mr. Cassar. Okay, if Suffolk Community College decides to hold all classes remote due to COVID, will our high school students be offered Zoom classes with their teachers, or is Zoom full remote solely at the teacher's discretion?
Okay, good question. So we offer real-time classes. So this would be Zoom type of class that would be twice a week, and the students would get a live lecture 2 days a week for an hour and 15 minutes. So the answer is yes, they would be getting a live lecture.
And what we did at the high school this year to accommodate those students, because some of the students that started, first of all, let me just say, if you are an upperclassman and you have driving privileges to the high school, we have had students drive themselves to Suffolk. They don't have to take the bus. So long as they have the qualified driver's license, they can go to the campus themselves and they can come back and park at the high school parking lot. But the bus is still provided regardless for all of our ECP students. However, so some of our students that had Suffolk classes stayed home and then just arrived late on those days, and they did their Suffolk class at home. But we also had a cadre of students, mostly juniors, that we established one of the computer labs in the library at the high school, where they were given a supervised, quiet environment with desktop computers available. Truth be known, most of them used their Chromebooks, but we provided you with a space that was your space that, as I said, was supervised and quiet, where students could hear the lessons as well. So I would assume we will continue to do that next year. It has gone seamlessly. There were a couple of concerns from some worried parents at the very beginning of the year, but we already had it worked out before school started, and it went off without a hitch. And I have no reason to believe we will not make that same accommodation this year, if in fact it stays remote, because you can only sign up for, if it does start off as a remote situation, we would only allow you to enroll in courses during those first 3 periods of Riverhead High School's bell schedule. We're not going to have you go into something that's running 4th period that would interrupt with a Riverhead class that you may be enrolled in if Suffolk then flips from online to live instruction at the campus. So we kind of prepare for the best. We prepare for both. So that way there'll be no interruption and no one will be double booked, so to say, at the high school and at Suffolk at the same time.
Okay, I'm not seeing any more questions in the Q&A. Anybody, any last minute questions you want to type in?
If anything else comes to mind, please contact me at the high school. I'll be happy to hear from you.
Okay.
Okay, thank you again, everybody. Have a good evening. Stay safe.
Thank you very much. Take care.
Thank you, Mr. Connolly.
Oh, you're welcome. Take care.
Okay.
Thank you,
Ms.
everyone. Have a good
Stevenson.
evening.
Thank you, Ms. Tona. Thank you, Daniela.
Okay, so good night. That's it?
That's it.
Okay, keep in touch. Good seeing you again, Chuck. Take
Okay.
care.
Right, thank you.
Bye-bye now.
Thank
Thank you, Mr. Connolly. Thank you very much.